And there's a bunch. There's that Red Line. They're throwing like raves, like in like those under the bridges, like in, like the skate park
People are
things.
doing weird, cool shit.
There's the pop up culture. There's the fucking bring your controller and DJ in the mountains. Like there's all these things.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
Did you do that? Did you?
I wasn't in the mountains, but I was on my controller in the middle of the loop.
It's cute, and it works.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast, the ever-changing set that we have developed down here in the new studio. We're working on it, we're tweaking, but as we go, we're rolling, baby, and we got a special guest today. I'm very excited. Someone that I came up with in this DJ world. Like when I first started in River North, I feel like you were already in there, but also kind of getting started, and we were working a lot of the same spots, playing a lot of the same shitty music, and it was a good time. And I'm very excited and happy to see everything that's going on with you. We got late checkout radio, right?
Yeah.
You got your latest release is Down Low. My personal favorite is Work It.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're out here just crushing festival stages at the moment, and I feel like you're really developing as an artist, which is something I'm kind of stuck on right now. That's like my most prominent thought that haunts me at the moment is like the difference between a DJ and an artist. And we'll get into it later. But ladies and gentlemen, AVI, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah, it has been a long road. It's good to see you. We've known each other a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a loaded question, or a loaded thought, really.
Yeah.
How you go from DJ to artist, or everybody has their own method, and I think it's really just kind of staying true to who you are, knowing what you want. Like you got to make that goal a reality. You have to focus on it, and it doesn't happen quick. It's just like DJing. When you start, like, you might have some really cool gigs, but like, let's be honest, you're not good. You're learning.
You think you're good.
You think you're good.
And then like 10 years later, you're like, I was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
But it's that same like believing in yourself. I know it sounds like cliche, but like you have to like set that goal. I want to be River North's greatest DJ. You have to set that goal. I want to play at XYZ club, and like eventually it's gonna happen if you just keep going. And by the time you are playing maybe the Z club, you're way better than you were when you were at Y.
Mm-hmm.
So
Y bar?
That's good. Yeah. Y bar. Sure. God, the list of fucking old venues. And
what's your goal right now? What's your most main goal that you're manifesting at the moment?
I think it's just keeping up the trajectory I'm on right now, which is I guess like the whole artist thing. I hate saying like I'm an artist, but like just
I feel
to
the same
fulfill
way.
myself. Like here was the issue was, after so many years, like you said, we've been doing this. I think we probably met in like 2010s, I would say, like around that time. I started DJing like as a career in 2005 was when I moved here. Okay, so if I moved here in 2005, by 2007 I was like, I had some residencies and whatever.
Where'd you move from?
Savannah, Georgia. I went to college there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm from Connecticut originally.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, talking, it's a hell of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like, I don't feel like we've ever done much talking. It's just been like light club talk, switch over, bonding. Like, I like you.
Maybe
you're a nice person.
But yeah,
a little bit. A little bit. I feel like that was more you and Dolo.
Okay. Yeah, it probably was. He'd be passed out on my couch, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, how do we get here?"
Yeah, I was never huge afters.
Good for you though, because man, I could have, could have cut out 10 years of bullshit if I, wasn't. But you gotta have fun with it too.
You gotta have fun, and there had to be some connections made,
Absolutely,
some long standing.
That's the other thing, man. Like this is an industry of connections. Like, you hate it, but it's facts. You gotta meet new people to get ahead. It's not always the people that you think are gonna get you ahead either. It's very interesting. That door guy ends up being the manager of the next hot club. I mean, something I've learned is just be nice to everybody because you don't know who's going to be there to they might be the ones to open the door or close the door for you later.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's all about the further that I go, the longer that this career lasts.
Yeah.
There's just so many pieces that you can put together. Like if you have an idea or you want to do something and you sit and you think and you're like, all right, well, I know someone that does this and I know someone that does this. I can have both of them do something for me that'll help me reach this goal.
Collaboration.
It's all about
that's the other thing. Collaboration is fucking key too. I mean, I'm someone who's always worked solo, I would say, I was never a duo. I never whatever. And that's just because I'm anal as fuck. I'm very particular. I like things to go a certain way. Working with people, I love collaborating with people, but working with people on a level that it would really influence my artistry, that's a little too much for me. So just for me to be able to have the final yes and no say in everything I do, yeah, that was kind of a big deal for me personally. However, there's been a lot of times I've wanted to work with other people, be like, oh God, what a cool idea if we all did this together and we could call ourselves this. And especially the whole female thing, there was a time before it got so popular, back in the day, I would talk with Amy and Meg, and we're just local open format DJs. How cool would it be if not a woman's night? I can't stand that shit. But if they just gave us a stage, just three of us for a night to do our thing, and it was very hard, I think, financially to sell that to other, to venues and stuff like that. And so I never pushed anything further than ideas.
But now that's
oh yeah, now
that's big.
It's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Tell me about that. How did that when did that start happening? I feel like the first time I ever saw them do you, Meg, and Katie or someone.
Katie,
remember
yeah.
Katie, Fancy Pants?
Yes.
Three female DJs all in the lineup for a Monday night at the Mid or something, the industry night.
Yeah, so they would do that a lot. At the Mid was pretty supportive of stuff like that. There was some Sunday or Monday parties, the industry parties, what was Rock Bar before it was Rock Bar?
Social 25.
Yeah, Social 25. Yeah, they would bring us out and do kind of a women's night, and I love that, but I did always hate the way it was marketed as such. I don't know. It always kind of felt not as strong. Oh, we need to make it a night to hide. I don't know. See, I don't know why
there's
I felt that.
a good side and a bad side.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's also well, why couldn't I just be on the
play a regular
lineup?
night?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Which I did, and they did, a few times, but not as often, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is just a recurring thing in this industry,
Yeah, but now the Sorry Poppy, right? Is that still a huge party? Females only? They only let in ladies, and there's a female DJ.
I just recently kind of heard about that when they did an event. I think at Radius or somewhere they did, maybe, I don't know, but yeah. So I read a little bit about it. I think some of those girls follow me. That's sweet. But yeah, so it looks like they have an amazing party.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. You gotta put in the effort though on that level, right? So me, I guess, I'm just wanting to get booked. I'm not trying to put on a night. I did do that several times. I tried to make my own party back in the day, maybe around the time I met you, a little bit before. I was working with like Dom and Orville and like, you know, Team Bayside, Derek and Rick. I don't know if you remember them.
Derek Barry, right?
Yeah. So like, I mean, where I really got my like start was kind of in that Wicker Park scene where I used to live. I used to live at the Congress Theater. I would get money taken off of my rent to like open for Public Enemy, like all the shows.
Wait,
Snoop
what?
Dogg.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You were paying your rent DJing like legit, like not even like getting a paycheck and then paying your rent, but you would DJ and get a discount on your rent?
Yeah, because I lived at the Congress Theater, and so they were like, that was just kind of some deal we had worked out.
There was like a studio or an apartment above it or under it?
Yeah,
or what?
no, many. Actually, a lot. You probably know a lot of people that used to live there. So it was like me, Derek Specs, Mano. Who else was? What was his name? Oh God, he used to like break dance and stuff too. He was like big back in the day, like with like the cool kids.
Brave
and all
Monk?
them. No, Nigel.
Oh,
what was his
Hollywood
name? Hollywood
Holt.
Holt. Yeah.
That's Mano's brother, I believe.
Yeah, or cousin, or I don't know. There was a bunch
it's
of them.
something
Yeah.
like that.
It's like the Bulls DJs; they're all related. But yeah, but yeah. Anyway, who else lived there? A bunch of people. Mike Finnegan, the bartender, Dylan Castle. Was
Wait, that's fucking sick.
That's how we all met each other. We were like a collective. We all lived at this place, and so I remember seeing like the ad. I needed a place to live, and it was like artists only. And I was like, perfect. This fits, you know. I only DJ'd like for a job, although it was, you know, barely make it, like, you know, $75 a night would be my paycheck and whatever. And then I don't know, maybe I had some money saved up. My parents probably helped me, like whatever it was. But also back then, I remember my rent was like $500. I just lived in like a little studio. So like to get to $500 in a month didn't take that much work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just different than it is now,
Absolutely.
you know, 25 years later.
That's such a cool concept. That's so dope.
It was like this collective.
Do you feel like that had, like, was there a lot of building there? Was there a lot of inspiration?
Yes,
like
all of
what,
that.
like, we need that. How do we get that back?
I know.
They don't have that anymore? Is the Congress got torn down or it's shut down or what?
Congress?
It's just sitting vacant on Milwaukee,
I think so.
right?
Yeah.
And then Concord's down the street.
Right, which is like
New
a great
and,
venue now.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah, the Congress, it was like filled with mold and leak problems and this and that. So like the city shut it down eventually. But I mean, it was an awesome time because they had huge shows there, and I got to like, you know, open for Little Kim when she came here. I was the opener, which Little Kim was like 2 hours late to her set. So I'm just on stage. And this is like a big stage. And I'm talking like, you know, they would have drummers and guitar, like everything set up, like huge. And then like all these fans are just looking at me like, where the fuck is Little Kim? And she's not coming out. And I'm like, I guess you just got me for a little while longer. And that went on for like 2 hours. And it was like brutal. But, you know, you live, you learn. It's fun. I think it takes that. You need to like stare in the face of 1,000 people and like get over your fucking nerves, and that's a good way to do it, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. 1,000 people that want Little Kim, and they got you for 2 hours.
Comeback tour, and she was like super late and not much of it. Yeah.
Damn, that's so sick.
She did perform, I think, but I don't even remember.
That's so tight. I want to open that. Someone needs to reinvest into the Congress and create that space again. That sounds dope.
It's like one of those things where you look back and you're like, wow, I was really glad I was a part of that, you know, because all those, you know, the people that I mentioned, I'm forgetting a whole lot of other people, but like that's where we all met. And, you know, some of them went on to be bartenders, managers, you know, talent agents. Like some of these people are like really big in the music industry, or they're just, you know, whatever, still finding their way. But everyone back then that, you know, embraced that artist mentality, everyone's still doing that now.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek went to open primary and do all that stuff. I helped him in the very beginning with that. I met some good people. Yeah.
Is Beauty Bar still open, right? Is Beauty Bar still throwing parties?
Beauty Bar's still open. Derek did own Beauty Bar for a minute.
Yeah, I felt like he had something to do with that. I remember seeing that name all the time on Facebook, but I don't know that I ever really met him.
Oh my God, such a good guy.
Yeah.
So him and Rick they were Team Bayside High.
I remember
and so
that.
like in Wicker Park, they threw the party at Debonair, and it was like that. And then Porn and Chicken came after. And then they were like rivals and then friends. And then, because I think they were both on the same night, like the Monday nights. Monday nights back in the day were fucking cracking.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, every day of the week was cracking back in the day. That Milwaukee, after the Congress, I moved to Milwaukee Avenue. I think there's like a CVS there now or whatever. But I mean, I lived right there, and like, you just have to walk out the door, and every single, back in the day, like, it was Lava Lounge, Empire Liquors. I mean, these are all the places I like had my residencies at. Rodan. Just really like cool hip spots. It was a lot of like, I don't know. It was those blog house days, like indie dance. You know, it was fun. There's nothing fun like that anymore. It's just so different. And I don't want to say like, oh, I hate what everything's become, because I don't. I think there's some really cool shit happening now too. You know, and I love the journey of music, but there's something about the heyday.
Do you not feel like we're coming back into that time? Like the cycle is starting to make its way back towards that indie dance sound and like disco-y dance poppy, not pop, but like electronic sort of, like, does it feel like that to you or no?
Yes and no, but I think living through the actual era makes it feel like this is just kind of like, oh, it's the circle
like a
of
watered
life.
down version of
It's
it.
all, yeah, and it's, well, I mean, maybe not watered down, but like, you know, I guess like I would tell stories to my mom, right, when I was like a little younger. She'd be like, oh yeah, that's just like when we used to, you know, whatever in the 70s, and I'd be like, whatever, Mom, you don't understand, you know. And now I'm understanding the older I get. Oh yeah, she understood, because she literally had those moments too. Like, we all have those moments. It's nostalgic for us. So I think when I'm looking at it from my perspective, just already having had that 25 years later, seeing it, you know, maybe happen again, it's hard for me to feel like it's the pinnacle it once was, you know, because then it was new for me. Now it's not new for me, but I can see how it's new for some other people, and it might, so that feels new, in the same way she probably felt, you know?
Yeah, it's not new for you. It doesn't feel incredible for you, but you can recognize that it's that.
And it's real. It's
for
happening.
Other people.
Yeah, and it is
for
happening.
the next generation.
Which is great. And I do agree that there is something going on. Sorry, I'm just staring at your naked toes over here.
I'm not a big, if I could do this podcast naked and it wasn't weird, I would. Like, I just want to be as naked as possible always.
Yeah, it's fair. Like the hairy toes are tapping. But no, so here's the thing. Like, I mean, I see some incredible collectives happening, forming. They're putting on parties. They're doing these things that like are really advancing their career probably faster than I've advanced in 20 years, you know, which is sick.
Give me a couple examples.
Like
names
the house
or
calls and like that kind of stuff.
Crushing it.
Yeah, like there's a lot of those collectives. And I think that's what it is. They've found their community. They built it, kind of like the old, you know, what Porn and Chicken did and what, you know, Team Bayside was doing at Debonair. Like, they're doing the same thing. They're building something. And that's what it takes. I mean, that's one avenue. There are several avenues to get ahead doing this, you know? But when you form a community, like, you're pretty much unstoppable, because you have the built-in fan base. You have this and that. I mean, fans are really the number one thing separating the average DJ, I guess, you know? Do you have people that actually listen to your music? Do you have people that actually would want to buy tickets to your show and come out to see you live? You know? Very important. And when they're building these communities, they're doing that without having to sell people on anything. Yeah. Because people just want to come and experience the moments that are happening. And so that's absolutely how it should be. So absolutely, yes. People are doing that right now.
It to me, with house calls especially, it feels more like they're building a community than they are building a fan base, or at least the mentality doesn't seem like it was started like oh, I need fans. I want fans. It was like,
Yeah.
I love this music and I want to play this music. And if you enjoy this music too,
Come be part of it.
come check it out.
Absolutely.
And that's what it feels like to me.
But the funny part is, looking at it from a business perspective, you know, the people like that are looking at that party, they're saying, well, can I sell this? Can I invest in this? Can I put this on a bigger level? Can I get a bigger stage? Can we do this? And will people come? And in that sense, to a marketing person, you know, their community is their fans, you know?
Yeah,
but you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm using the word, you know, incorrectly.
Well, not
However.
necessarily. I mean, yes, they are fans for sure. But what I'm trying to like nitpick, I think, is that
That wasn't their goal.
That wasn't their goal.
Yeah.
And also, I think that's what ultimately makes them ultra successful, is that
Yeah.
they're focused on building something cool. Like every upgrade they've done that I've seen is like, they didn't like get a fan base and then like, oh, sick, let's sell a bunch of tickets at this theater
Right.
that everyone else is working at because now we're that big. They're like, well, we can fill a place up, but I don't want to just fill up, you know, any
Yeah,
regular
we'll
place.
keep it
I want to,
cool and
yeah,
intimate
I'm
and-
doing the vertiport or the empty church
Yeah.
that no one's ever thrown a party at, or like whatever. They're finding all these spaces and bringing this experience, creating experiences that I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I think that's the illest part about it. And
Yeah.
that's the right now, that's what's super hot.
And there's a bunch. That Red Line, they're throwing like raves, like in like those under the bridges, like
Yeah.
like the skate park
People are
things.
doing weird,
you know?
cool shit.
There's the pop up culture. You know, there's the fucking bring your controller and DJ in the mountains. Like there's all these
Why
things.
you gotta
know?
call me out like that?
Did you do that? Did you?
I wasn't in the mountains, but you know, I was on
Where
my
were you?
controller in the middle of the loop.
It's cute, and it works. Yeah. But you know, but there are these things that I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's a common thread. There's things that work, you know, and absolutely creating community, number one, unbeatable, and that's probably the same with the Sorry Poppy people, right? That's a community, right, of women that don't want men around,
Yeah.
and that's fine,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And they've built that. I mean, recently, actually, I did start working with it's called the Lesbian Social Club, and I think I've done
I've
two
seen their
parties.
parties.
Yeah, I've done two parties with them so far, and there's another one coming up next month that they just asked me to be a part of. And they built something too. You know, you just have to be specific about what you're building. The more specific, house calls, house, right? Lesbians, women, fucking, you know, whatever it is. I mean, there's gay parties like that. I know. Those I've been playing for years. Tons of like the gay parties, even though I'm not quintessential, you know, gay man. Like, you know, they've
not?
invited me into their communities and it's fun. I do think of myself as one, to be
Do you?
honest. I don't have a lot of like, I love lesbians, but nothing against them, but like I don't have any like good lesbian friends. I never connected in those circles. I'm like, I roll with my straight homies and my gay men.
Nice.
Those are the people I connect with, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just is what it is. But I mean, everybody, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Everyone's, yeah, you got your peoples. I feel that.
Yeah.
I want to go into, well, first of all, I had some questions before we went off on this tangent.
Yeah, go.
When you were in Wicker, DJing, living above the Congress,
Yeah.
all that, what was like your primary music? What was your favorite shit? What were you into? What got you into DJing? What were you looking forward to playing the most?
Probably back in the day, it was like that Baltimore club, like the old Diplo Hollertronics, like those labels. I would say like super blog housey, like, you know, all like the Justice and that kind of stuff was really popular at the time. But I really liked the grimy remixes, you know, plus they're easier to mix than just like some of the, you know, you'd have like flight faculties and all the phanograms, and I don't know, the list is long, I guess, but it was definitely like that indie dance, indie house, then the blog house stuff. And then all like those little offshoots. Bali funk was huge for a while, and I loved playing that stuff. It had so much like good energy. I think like what was, and in those scenes, it kind of seemed like this was like the top 40 stuff, you know? And then once I got involved in the downtown, I'm like, oh, this is a totally different type of music, like, you know, that they want me to play here. And I've always just liked to, still to this day, just blend everything together. You know, some people say they're open format. No, you're not. You play top 40. Like, that's not open format. There's so many genres of music. So fucking many. Like, yeah, I love just to dip it in disco, all that, you know, all that stuff, which is hugely coming back now. And it's awesome to see. I mean, you have a new disco.
I am personally, I was not in the game of the blog of the blog house shit or the
I didn't think you were.
Indie dance stuff. Like I missed all that. When that was popping, I was listening to Atmosphere and Brother Ali.
Another one that I opened for, Atmosphere at the Congress.
That's sick.
Good old Sluggo, yeah.
That's so sick.
But you know what's funny? Like, I mean, that's cool. Okay, so like backpack hip hop, right?
Yeah.
That was your bag, which was my bag when I was like in high school. Like, I was fucking obsessed. I've gone through so many weird phases. Then I was all jam band, hippie. Like, I've pretty much, I don't know if it's an identity crisis or what, but I don't think so. I just think I appreciate all of these different types of music and genres and artistry and whatever that like that has just become my MO. Like, that is my open format, you know? Just appreciation of so many different types of music. But yeah, I see that though. That stuff, that's probably why you got along well with Kyle.
I got along well with Kyle, yeah.
I mean, it's funny.
That's how I met him, was like through the hip hop scene, Chicago hip hop.
That makes sense. So I had a residency at Funky Buddha Lounge. I think that's how I met him originally, because I think he had a residency too at the time. And then I started going more downtown. And the whole thing of how I started going downtown, which you probably don't know either, but
let me get
funny because it hits you close to home now, maybe, was Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
nice.
I was Paul's intern.
No way.
Yeah. So like I was DJing all the Wicker Park stuff. I don't know where I saw an ad for it. Like, it's the same thing with Congress. I'm like, where did I find this stuff? Like, what did we have back then? Newspapers? Like, I don't know. Maybe just like on what are those called? Like a telephone pole. Maybe I just pulled the tab and a little number.
Coffee shop,
I don't know what it was.
Board.
Somehow I got in touch with James Brown. You know,
James Brown. Okay,
who was looking for an intern for Paul. So I go up. He had an office at the time above a 5-star. So I go up there for an interview. You know, like in my early 20s. Like, yeah, I DJ these places, blah blah blah. And we hit it off. And then I was in the office every day, like Monday through Friday, like a job.
And what was this when he was at Underground? No, this was before Underground, right?
So this is probably like 2008, 9, 10. Somewhere around then. He was working with Jem and Psy at the time. He was like trying to like make them famous.
Okay.
He had a bunch of DJs, Skylar, a bunch of like DJs that like
Skylar's Romeo's brother, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that name so many times, but
I've never met him.
No.
I said I would be nice on this podcast.
Yeah,
no, he was a nice guy until he tried to steal my money.
That's the reoccurring story that I often hear.
When you mess with my money. A lot of DJs mess with my money. Nice guys, but mess with my money.
Yeah. That's why we were talking before. You got to get a gun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, yeah. Won't happen. Won't happen ever.
Shouts to Long Drink for sponsoring the podcast. Absolutely the best cocktail you can get out there. That's exactly what it is. A cocktail in a can. It's not a seltzer. As you can tell, it's not one of those stupid, long, skinny cans that makes you look like an idiot stick when you're drinking it. This is good stuff. anyone I give one of these to ask me what it is, where they can get it, and why they haven't had it before. I'm putting people on. You guys are next. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the program. Go to your local liquor store. Target's got them, wherever you can. Grab a long drink today. Enjoy. Watch the pod. Let's get back to it. Thank you.
But yeah, so
He was starting the music trust then, right? I would imagine.
funny who helped come up with the name, the Music Trust, in those intern meetings.
Nice.
Yeah, and then seeing the name later everywhere, and now seeing it as a place that I work for still, that I helped create.
That's awesome.
Yeah, funny. So Paul basically was like taking DJs under his wing. He I remember one of the first times I met him, he gave me, copied his whole library and gave it to me, all his music, so I could have, it was sick. And I was like, damn, I got all this music to DJ, so exciting. Because in the beginning, DJing is so fucking exciting,
Yeah.
So exciting. I'm not saying it's not anymore. It's just there's these little things when you're newer at it that really just, it's the unknown and this and that, and it's really exciting. It can be really exciting. So yeah, everything was going good in Wicker Park. I start working with Paul, and then he needs DJs to open up for him or take his spots. He'll get booked at places, and then kind of like what we probably started to do to people later
Absolutely.
on. Then you have them watch. You come and you watch somebody. If you like a DJ, you go. Back in the day, you used to watch them. You just watch them work. You would make friends with them. You would make friends with the bartenders. You would make friends with the managers. You just show up all the time, networking, right? But back in the day, it was really done in person. There was no really Facebook, Instagram networking. That wasn't a thing. I don't think Instagram was a thing yet. So, no, right?
No. Hell no.
So, I think we still have flip phones. We were still T9 texting. But yeah, so just doing those things, and then meeting other DJs that I liked, and then watching them DJ, and then this and that, and then they need a favor. Hey, I got to jump to this other spot, because sometimes we would book 4 gigs in a night. I'm going to do this from this time. Then I need you to come cover me from this to this time, and then you go there. I know that's the way it was. So yeah, so I started opening up for Paul at a lot of places, or covering his nights. And then that's how I got involved in the downtown scene. That's really, to be honest, I think how I got involved there. Then I just started networking, meeting more people downtown. Downtown paid a bit better. It was new for me. And so, yeah, things just kept evolving. But that was really the story of how that all happened, and probably how I met you around that time.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know any of that. That's so dope. White
Didn't
Shadow
know much about me here.
White Shadow is he's a legend. He's a god. He's he's just the nicest, most generous dude that wants everybody to win.
Yeah.
And every time I hear something about him from someone else, it's just a
good story.
It's a good story. Nobody ever has anything terrible to say about him.
Yeah. It's how it should be.
Yeah. It's so dope.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, do you feel like you kind of moved on to this downtown scene and started curating your brand or yourself or your music or whatever it is towards that more mainstream top 40 downtown club? I'm making it. I'm climbing the ranks.
I suppose at the time I was never thinking my brands, this and that. I was just thinking I really want to make this happen. I got to chase checks. I don't want another job.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to DJ. And so I think the downtown club scene it was more lucrative. It was just fun in its own right, But yeah, I guess if I'm going to look back on it now, yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden I started catering to totally different music, learning different music, kind of maybe mixing different even, to make that kind of stuff work, the really quick mixes and, the hip hop and the dance. And I guess at the time it was EDM boom. So yeah, So yes, I did without really realizing it. But yeah, absolutely, because I wasn't really playing that blog housey stuff. Maybe like if I'm doing like a warm up
Yeah.
or day party stuff, like, you can throw that in. But yeah, the sound changed. And I think my focus changed, Then all of a sudden it's like, well, now you need headshots. You need a logo. And you need like all these things. And for me, it was cool because the people I was surrounding myself with were doing it too. At the time, the way I thought of it is, well, they're ahead of me and this is what they're doing. So now I need to start doing this, So I kind of just you watch and you learn. You try to like adapt all that for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that. Getting gigs downtown and trying to focus in on like, okay, I'm a good enough DJ to DJ now. How do I make a living off of this?
Yeah.
How do I stop bartending and like go full-time DJ? And you get stuck. Maybe it's not even stuck, but you go down this route of like
happiness and fulfillment, self-fulfillment.
Yeah.
And money.
Yeah.
They really couldn't be farther apart. And I guess really this brings us back to your first question, which was how do you go from DJ to artist? I didn't necessarily say, oh, I want to be an artist now. I just had such a long career DJing, and all of a sudden I realized I am no longer fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
I am no longer happy. I go to these gigs, jobs. It's a different place maybe every week, but it feels like a desk job. It feels like I'm going to the desk job. Just boring, playing the same fucking back that ass up, 8 times a week is like just fucking enough. Just like, why do you only want to hear this? Like fucking, there's so much more out there,
Yeah.
that you would enjoy, but the audience or the managers or the venues don't want to give it a chance, stick to this, a lot of micromanagers out there in this business, which is hard as someone who's, we don't know what we're going to play next. It's just, but then you second guess yourself when you want to play something cool, and that sucks. You shouldn't. The whole point of this is fucking you do you show up, because no one does it like you. I can't play what you play or the way you play, and you can't play what I play or the way I play. Like, we all have a style that is uniquely us, And
I think that now more than ever, with the coming to the tail end of bottle service and that whole era driving these nightclubs and dance coming back, dance floors coming back, this switch, this disco feel, happy, fun, groovy, all this stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah.
I personally feel like it's not a matter of going from DJ to artist. I feel like there's opportunity in DJs being artists in the craft itself, rather than
absolutely
having to produce music and say, I'm an artist because I made this.
Yeah.
People are now having the ability to shine in their selection and style of DJing to be an artist in the booth.
Yeah,
and get respected for what
stems,
you're doing.
You can you show off your scratching skills. Make the song your own. You don't have to produce. Actually, I literally just said this on a thread this morning. Something about like, look, not every DJ is going to be a great producer. Not every producer is going to be a great DJ, Sometimes it's just your personality that does it. You could be a really shitty DJ, but you could have the personality that just connects with people. You could be great on the mic, or you can not use a mic at all, and you can be just so dialed into your selections. You can jump around on stage. There's so many options, or you can be an amazing DJ without having to ever produce in your life. You could just show people, because now it's all about showing, unfortunately, you know, to get ahead. You have to show what you do. It's not good to do it anymore. People have to see it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get ahead, if you're trying to bridge that gap, but you don't have to produce. You can show your DJ skills. I mean, people love a mashup on TikTok. I mean, you know how many people have gone viral just from fucking doing something that we've done a billion times without thinking about, but they had a camera set up and people connected to it. And so there are so many avenues, you know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And I'm certainly not an advocate of whatever. I just know like my personal journey, how it's been, and, you know, hopefully what I will accomplish soon.
I'm just excited. I'm very excited for the time that we're in. I'm excited. Like you said, you know, it just got old. It felt like a job, doing the same shit, collecting the same checks, being on the flyers with the same people, fighting for the same gigs. It's just like, how long can I do this for? And thankfully, I have a breath of fresh air with this whole new shift in what I'm doing and digging into this disco shit and getting into the history of the blog house shit, and like all of that's new for me.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's like I'll
throw you a folder, bro.
Yeah,
like,
please, whatever you got. I want everything. Like I'm fucking absolutely loving. It's all new. It's all new. It's all fun. I'm learning. I'm changing. Everything's happening, and it's fucking. It feels like I first started DJing. It feels like it felt like when I first started DJing.
That's how it should feel, you know, because we got trapped into this chasing checks bullshit. That's not what this is about. It's not going to self-fulfill you. Like, if you want to be an artist, just you have to put the art first, you know? You have to put the selections first. You have to put this first, that first, you know?
I think that's huge. That just like really rang with me. Like if you want to be an artist, you have to put the art first. Yeah. It's not about stopping DJing to go do this other thing in the studio. It doesn't matter.
Not separate.
They're not. They're both art forms. So if you want to be an artist, you have to put the art first. That's
it's all connected, you know? The circle of life. It's the circle of DJing, you know? And it is funny because it is a circle, you know? You start somewhere, you grow so much and you do all these things, and then it's like, maybe actually it's more like a circle with little like a sun, okay? Like sun rays. You're going to start the circle, then you get distracted and you go off this way. Then you go back on the circle. You go this way, right? You get distracted. You go back on the circle. I'm not happy. I'm going to change directions. You go this way. And then you realize the longer you do this and the more different projects you're a part of and this, like you actually are going full circle. In the end, you know?
It all comes back.
You're going to be happy if you do it that way. I guarantee you will be happy, you know?
Yeah. It's incredible. I've never smiled more in a DJ booth than I am right now, currently. Every time I'm fucking playing fun, disco, dance, just in a groove.
Feels good, right?
Letting songs play, not worried about how fast I'm going to mix out or if there's a slight lull in energy. Like, you know,
it's meant to be there, man.
Yeah.
Those people, like, you know, especially with us with the open format, you know, style, it's almost like looked bad on, like if you're not just boom, boom, boom. But like you have to do that to make the journey. You know, every set is a journey, whether you 1 hour set, whether it's a 4 or 5 hour set, like you are having a journey and you are taking people on the journey. Unfortunately, it's like at a lot of these clubs and bars, people come in for 30 minutes and they want to be, whatever, they want to have, it's a quick hit of dopamine and, you know, then they're off. So like if you're not really catching them in those 30 minutes, it's like, oh, you worry, are they going to get bored? Are they going to leave? Like this and that. But at the same time, you know, I learned a while ago, you have to give a little bit of a a dip in energy. You have to let the people reset. They have to go to the bar. They have to buy drinks. That's helping the venue out. It's also like helping out your stamina. Rethink where you going now this hour. Like, so it really is. You're taking people on a journey, and it doesn't always have to be such like, doesn't always have to be bangers and quick hits. Like, think about the people making the music, or when you're listening to music, you're not skipping. If you're listening to something you like, you don't skip ahead. Like, you want to hear that build. You want to hear it all works together.
Absolutely.
So no shame. You play those intros. You play those,
I'm playing that. I'm mixing intros into outros.
Yeah. What's funny is I started switching up the way I DJ with some sets, and instead of mixing intros and outros, I've been mixing builds, not slamming builds, not like, okay, it's about to have a build and then the riser, down, and then you switch the song. Not that, but actually mixing the builds, and in key, so it all sounds great, because there is something to be said for that. Very underrated. Something I neglected to do for most of my career until recently, and like, what a game changer. Yeah. Music is meant to sound a certain way, and when it's cats scratching at the door, like, there's other ways to do it. It works either way. I was so focused on BPMs for my whole beginning, but now it's kind of maybe it's just adding another layer into it, making it more fun. But mixing builds has just been a big game changer for me personally.
Yeah, give me a little bit more on that. Like, what do you like?
So like, it keeps the energy like just high the whole time, and like when you have the lulls, there really is no lull, because it's the next build coming in, and people are already kind of hearing that. So instead of just mixing like the intros and outros where it's just like drums, maybe sometimes there's something cool happening aside from the drums and the intros, especially on bigger sound systems, if you can hear that. And that's cool. I do some of that too. But yeah, I just really started focusing on mixing the builds. Usually there's either, vocals, and you just cut out the lows, because at that time, it's mostly just synths and stuff in the back. There's no drums there to compete. So almost acapella. It almost sometimes is an acapella.
So you're not mixing, like, if one song's building up into the drop, and
after
another
I've
song
played a drop,
after a drop, when it goes into the lull,
yes,
you're bringing in another build over that lull.
Yes.
So it's not two builds. It's you're speeding it up.
Yes. I'm speeding it up because, it's a lot for me. The way I DJ is a lot of cue points, and I'm just, cause I still have a thing just from this fucking years of open format DJing, where it's like, if I have an hour set, what the fuck, how do I fit everything I want to fit in an hour? And it drives me crazy every time. It's very difficult for me to I'm talking about sets where you actually are kind of planning, you have to know essentially what you're going to play in an hour set. And there's no shame on that. It's still live DJing, this and that. So let's cut the bullshit with that kind of rhetoric. But you do. If you're playing a big festival 1 hour set, it's completely different when I go to a bar and I'm playing a 4 hour set. I'm going to wing it there. Absolutely. And that's the fun. That's real DJing, Like, I'm still DJing, it's a different
it's more of a performance.
Mindset. It's a performance.
It's more of
you're right.
These people came to get something, and I'm not just going to go up there and be
it's
like,
important
we'll
in an hour which songs you're going to show them, because out of so many songs, you have to like really focus in. It's not necessarily every song this by this, but like, it's for sure a folder, with different way. I always have folders, different ways it can go. If I want to then go into this, then I have my new folder. If I want to then go into this, like, if because I do still play many genres within my set, even if it's technically a house set, or bass house is mostly my thing. But like, I still do go into garage, or some maybe a little bit of trap, or like all kinds of stuff. I mean, I move around. I would just get bored, and it's just something I enjoy. I think that's like an MO of mine, that I'm able to do that. You know, a lot of artists now, they love to show off the fact that they can like do that, you know, but it's really like they have one song and it's a transition.
Yeah.
And it's cute.
Yeah.
But it's like for us open format DJs, like we've been doing this the whole time. But yeah, fitting songs into an hour set or even 2 hours, man, is just like, I hope one day I get over this need to feel like I need to like slam, you know, 80, 90 tracks.
Yeah.
I do usually. Like I think my like 1 hour sets or 1.5 hour sets sit at like at least 60 songs.
That's pretty insane.
Quick enough, but like not slamming. And I think the way I'm doing that is with this new build to whatever thing on some tracks. And then all my cue points. Sometimes I like the last drop. I don't like the first drop. You know, so I just make edits. I just make flats. Much easier than sometimes for certain things than just, you know, hitting the cue point, especially when cue points are broken on half of the CDJs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of work. I put a lot of work in behind the scenes, you know.
That's dope. That's you're on Sticks too, right? You went full-time
Yes,
Sticks
full-time
like a while
Sticks.
ago, a long time ago.
COVID. So 5 years ago now.
5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have questions for me, let me know. Okay, I know you have some questions. I know you think that there's things that can't be done, and I'm here to tell you they can absolutely be done.
I do have questions,
Yeah.
but like not yet. I'm still like I'm really trying to get back to the basics of DJing that I never really even got to experience per se.
That makes sense. That's cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just mixing tracks.
Yeah.
The bare minimum, but
Yeah.
like doing it really fucking well.
Yeah.
Trying to learn how to do it really well.
Yeah.
And actually,
Well, don't use a Pioneer for that. I mean, not the Nexus lines if you want to really get into like, you know.
the mixer?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am working in the clubs still, so I gotta.
I mean, those are still my favorite mixers, but you know, I sometimes I get slapped with like the V10s or whatever when I'm opening up for certain people, you know, and it's like, oh boy, you know.
Good.
No, amazing,
Oh, okay,
but I just
okay.
need to spend more time with it
Yeah,
because
it's a little foreign.
I'm not comfortable in the same way I am. I'm guessing a lot of things, and I'm like, oh, that was the wrong, you know. You gotta just know when you know your gear, but that's the same thing with the Sticks, dude. My first 2 years, it was probably like learning to DJ over again, you know. I was uncomfortable a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. But you push through that, and then all of a sudden, like, fuck, I'm unstoppable. I'm amazing. I can DJ on anything. And like once you really get the flow of the Sticks, I still don't know many people that DJ the way I do on Sticks. Like Trentino probably was the one who convinced me to like just go for it. I'd be like, you can do this, and I was like, okay. And best thing I ever did, man. My back feels so much better. I've always had back problems, and like just carrying a backpack all the time, worrying about my computer if I put it down, like, oh, I don't want someone to steal this. I have to put it in a back room. Pain in the ass. You know, it's just so light. I just put it in my pocket. I use in-ears, so like I don't even use them properly, to be honest. I should, because my hearing is trash.
Yeah.
But like I just throw them around my neck, so like I don't need a bag.
That's tight. I do love my DJ bag though.
That's
like
fair.
I got a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Solid.
comfort. I know if I ever need anything, I can go in my bag.
Yeah.
I got like Tylenol cold and flu
Okay.
sitting at the bottom of some pockets.
Yeah.
I got weed everywhere if I need it.
That makes sense.
I got cords and shit, like just all the shit that I've accumulated in there over the years that need deodorant. There's fucking,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. You got to carry on is what you're saying.
Yeah. I do still bring my bag, but I've been leaving my laptop at home. That's nice.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so you are starting to?
Yeah, I'm
You do your disco sets on.
I'm doing house and disco on sticks, and then
You'll have no pressure. I know you and what you're capable of. Like you can do it all. It's.
I appreciate
You
that.
really can.
I appreciate that. I feel some sets I feel like holy shit, I'm absolutely horrendous. But
It's just you second guessing yourself. You have to really be confident in the fact like this is either gonna work or I'm gonna fuck it up. And just
here we go.
pretend it's going to work. And usually it does.
Yeah.
Because you really do know what you're doing on there, you know? There's a lot of buttons to get into, but once you get into them, I read the whole manual. I had never done that. I read the whole CDJ manual. Like all this stuff, all these things that I didn't know existed that you could do, you know? And all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait. Because I used to make excuses. Well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that. We can't do stems. Now, this is true.
That's, yeah.
You know, and, you know, it is not the most intuitive, best software out there. I do miss Serato at times a lot.
Rekordbox is a piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit. But it is and it isn't. To be honest, like some people really complain about having problems with like, you know, I think a lot of it comes down to like what stick are you using, you know? Some people seem to have a lot more problems than others. I don't have that many problems. Like it's not.
I don't have problems per se where like something's not
It's slow.
working. I
It
just
lags.
hate like just the way that it feels.
Yeah.
It feels ancient and it feels clunky.
Okay.
And it just like
the interface, like when you're setting up
yeah,
your
the inner like
crates,
even
or-
like when I'm in Rekordbox and I click on a song to get it to go play, and maybe it's already clicked on or something, and now all of a sudden I'm in the fucking typing, you know, renaming the track.
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of times what will happen is I'll go to click on a song and then I'll hit one
It
because
does
I'm
that.
trying to
So
set
you do
the
quick
cue or
undo.
whatever.
So you do the quick undo. That's
yeah,
what I do.
and
Yeah.
then now the track's just named one. I'm like I fucking hate this
I
program.
think that happens to me so often that I don't even think about it anymore because I just know that it's really quick, like, oh, undo,
Yeah.
and then, you know.
You shouldn't have. You should have to double click on a track if you're going to rename it. Nobody's fucking renaming their tracks in Rekordbox. It's the track that you fucking.
Interesting.
You don't rename. You don't put something into Rekordbox to rename it. You shouldn't even be able to rename it.
Well, I mean, if someone names something like, you know, Master 1.-256.
Then that's what it is. That's what they put out. If you want to play it, you fucking play it like that
play
because
it.
that's how they put it out.
That's funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I hate it. You said something earlier that I wanted to talk about. Like the nicheness of everything. Everything's going in its own separate way. I feel like my first part of my career, I guess, like the first half of it,
Yeah.
it felt like you're on the internet, you have to be on the internet, and you want to reach everybody. You're on the internet now. So like anything you do should be done to get the most people you can think about to view it.
You just talking about like recently?
Just mindset. No, what do you mean?
Just like how social media is
Just yeah, like
seems to be everything to an artist now.
yeah, social media,
booking agent.
your brand. Like, you know, you said when you first started DJing downtown, you're like, and now you're getting headshots,
Right,
and now
okay.
you're like thinking about this brand and how you build it, and
Yeah.
and all these things. Like it seemed to me like I was very focused on getting as many people as possible to enjoy what I'm doing. How can I ride the wave of you know, Jet 2 Holiday is popular. How can I jump on that? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are seeing that. How can I get myself on that Jet 2
Right.
Holiday train kind of thing? Like that was my mindset, but I
Yeah.
feel like now that's not it.
Good,
Like
because
you're-
that's gonna do is cause you to overthink. It's gonna cause you to compare yourself to others, you know, and it's not gonna be the smash that you want. You know, it's when you least expect it. That's the smash that you want. It just is. Or the song that you hate the most that you produced and you don't like it, but that's the one that blows up. You know, it's just funny how these things happen. Or the reel that it's just you literally talking to the screen, you put no effort in, and then all of a sudden that has your most views. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when you try to chase trends, I suppose is the word, right? Or try to be something that maybe, if you think about it, that's not really authentic. If you have this mindset that you want people to see it, you know, that's not really authentic. That's you just like, that's your ego just wanting to be fulfilled, you know, and never fulfill the ego.
Yeah. But also just not like the mindset of like, the more people that I can get to enjoy what I'm doing, the better it must be.
For who though? For you? Like that makes you feel better?
Not necessarily about feeling better, but that's just like to me, it's an initial thought. It's like a young thought. It's like you're a DJ and you're like, I'm good at what I do. People enjoy my sets. I get booked. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, how do I get more people to see what I'm doing? I need to do this so that the most people can see it. Right.
To have a strategy, I guess, in place is important, right? You do want to have a goal in mind. So I guess that would be your goal, right? Your goal is getting this many people to see something. Now, how do I get from A to B? And then you have to have, the strategy. I mean, it just takes a lot of work, I guess, to try to plan something like that. And that could pay off eventually with consistency. You know, you have an idea, you're consistent with it. You do this idea every day or a couple times a week or whatever, maybe other people will come to you or your page expecting to see that kind of content, and you'll start to like build a following that way. More people will see you, then you can show them other parts of your skill set, right? I mean, is that
sort of, yeah. I mean, like
you had your whole shtick, dude.
I had the shtick, yeah. I had the send nudes thing. That's kind of what I'm saying is like, I leaned into something that people liked, that got a lot of views, that seemed like it was paying off because it was, in a way.
Yeah, you did make a name for yourself with that, and you were throwing. But I think you were doing a few things at the same time, from my perspective, from an outsider's perspective, right? You were also throwing like huge parties where people wanted to kind of see that brand of yours. They wanted to get involved in the chaos and the fun and the womanizing or whatever the fuck he was.
Former womanizer.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I mean, there was a guy, and I opened for him a few times. I don't know why they were booking me to open for him at Bounce. He kind of did the same thing. He was a photographer.
Yeah, the Slut Whisperer. Kirill is his name.
Okay.
His original brand was Kirill Was Here.
Yes, Kirill Was Here because he was a photographer during the Bloghouse days. I kind of remember. And he was always kind of like, that was his shtick, kind of to get like real raunchy photos and stuff like that. But then it turned into like, oh, I'm just going to fucking berate the fuck out of these women, and I was like, that's too much. It's a lot. It's a lot. Is it entertaining to watch?
He went kind of hard.
Yeah, it might be entertaining to watch for some people, but like, and maybe that's just a thing, like you get older and you're just kind of like, all right, that's just very childish, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not, personally, I don't think it's childish. I just think it becomes sad after a while because you're fucking with these girls. You're fucking with these girls that are clearly they have some issues. That's why they're doing these things. Yeah. And then the older you get,
Girls Gone Wild. Like you watch those now and you're like, oh, honey, no, you're gonna regret this. You're
really like when they're too young, you're like, you're so young, you don't know any better. It's sad.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're older but they have the mind of a fucking 19-year-old.
I get it. I did stupid shit when I was younger too, but like, thank God it wasn't all like caught on video like it is now. And that could really like, it hurts people
for sure
in the long run, But you had an idea, you went with it, people were interested in it. So there's just the fact that you got people interested in it and it was exciting. You also though had a lot of layers to yours, I think, because you were a good DJ and everyone knows that. I mean, like you always were looked at as a good DJ, like a skillful DJ, like you put out videos of you scratching. Obviously you wouldn't have maintained these big residencies if you didn't have the skill. So like you weren't just out there fucking with people, like you also had something to offer, I guess.
I appreciate that. I think
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is like I tried to feed the crowd more than anything. Like if
Sure.
we're looking at it from a DJ standpoint, I was a jukebox more than anything. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is people like this. Let me give people what I think they like. Not necessarily how I feel now, where it's like, let me give you what I
like.
Right.
That's the thing.
And I think there's a couple aspects at play, like the timing of what's happening right now, virality and like videos doing well, and just the place that the world was in back then, I think was more that.
Yeah.
It made more sense then.
It did.
Now that doesn't make as much sense. What makes sense is like the nicheness of things. My TikTok timeline is all Chicago shit because I really fucking enjoy watching that. And then they feed you what you like watching.
Yeah.
It's not like timelines are so curated now. Back then, it was one big timeline that you were trying to get into.
Yeah. It's
Now
cookies, it's algorithm.
But the algorithm is different now. It's like evolved into you can
It's sales. It's evolved into sales. The whole point of all of these apps is to sell you something ultimately.
yes, but there's a silver lining in that.
Sure.
And I think what's happening in the nicheness, you can find the people that are into what you're doing more easily than trying to just do something that appeases to everybody and have like a small underlining, oh, I can scratch too. You know, like, yeah, I have 70,000 followers on Instagram because girls take their shirts off and I put stickers on their titties. But also for the 10% of you that are interested, I can also scratch.
Yeah, now you've reversed it.
Now it's the reverse. Like you do what you enjoy, and social media has become so niche that people are getting exactly what they want on their timeline. So if you're what they want, you will wind up on their timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in a way it's great, you know? I mean, a lot of people knock it like I think what people are knocking is the fact like you just have to nowadays. You can't opt to not if you are expecting a certain outcome, you know? You have to just do it. You have to just put yourself out there. And that's like a scary thought, you know? Because what if I put myself out there and people don't like me? That's the scary thought. I mean, it's a thought we all have. Even if you're not an art, even if you're not a DJ, musician, whatever, you know, I'm just the regular person, I'm sure will feel that way. You know, we all have this, you don't want to be disliked, you know? But this society, I don't know, it's very Black Mirror. You know, this is just where it's gone to. It's like instant gratification, the hearts, the thumbs ups, we like live for it. It gives us that dopamine hit. It makes us happy, and we can't control the fact that it does. It just does, you know?
Yeah.
It's
unfortunate. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it becomes a skill like anything else. I think like posting a video, being consistent in posting content is a skill in and of
Absolutely.
itself.
Yeah,
And the
believe me,
more that you do it, the better you get at it,
Yeah.
whether it's getting more videos to do better or just accepting the videos that don't do well. And you're like, well, there's tomorrow.
I mean, there's a reason why these people have blown up, and you know, I believe like they deserve it. Like that's not easy to do, to put yourself out there, and obviously you're likable to this many people. So that's great. That's your strength. That's huge, you know? when people say like, oh, these, the TikTok DJs and this and that, it's like, well, we all have something. We all have, that's their skill. So they're just pushing it and using that, to show these other skills that they have. Mm-hmm. But like, we all have to start with one,
Yeah.
and then you're able to like kind of showcase the full you. Really, authenticity is just the main the main thing, because like, yeah, you can't fake that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Either people like you or they don't, and that's okay too. People are so concerned with being liked, because we feel it, but like, you got to think about it, like these fucking huge artists, and I mean Taylor Swift, and people getting like hate on a fucking, like if you have haters, you're actually doing something right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for where the world is at right now, and it may be the world itself, or it may be my perception of it because of where I'm at.
Yeah.
But it really, to me, feels like there's a shift. There's a shift with crowds that are going out. There's a shift with people's acceptance of music that they don't know. There's a shift in culture where I think that we're slowing down. I think that we're coming to the end of the TikTok era, where obviously TikTok's not over, but like people are realizing that it's not, scrolling, just fucking doom scrolling and like consuming too much. I think it's realized that that's not really what you want. Mm-hmm. It felt good at first because it was new, and now it's like smoking or something. You start to realize that it's bad, and even though it's bad, it's still enjoyable.
You start vaping.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's bad, you accept it and maybe do it with the understanding that it's not great for you, which is better. But
yeah.
I
do agree with you, man. I think people are so open to hearing new music now, like in venues and even like bars and clubs, even still like in that open format circuit, you can still throw in a lot more than you used to be able to. And people are willing to like give it a chance, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And like, you're the cool DJ if you have like, all the new tracks your buddies are sending you, unreleased, remixes or IDs or whatever. Like, that's a thing now where like, that's cool. Before it was like, if it's not on the radio, it's not cool.
Yes.
And
that's
it's the opposite
dope.
now.
That's
and that is dope.
That's so dope.
That is dope.
That makes me so happy. And that, I think, it plays into like the point that I was trying to make of like, DJs you can just be an artist as a DJ.
Yeah.
In this time right now, especially because I think people are more open to hearing what a DJ has to offer, with the understanding that like, okay, that person's up there for a reason.
Mm-hmm. There's respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect
There's a little more respect. Which is great. Yeah.
It's tight. We're kind of just going back and forth on the same thing. I feel like we had a fantastic podcast. I got to know a lot about you that I didn't know.
Yeah.
This was great. Thank you
fun.
for coming. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on that we didn't get to?
No,
we didn't get to cover?
I think I'm good. You can have me back. we can shoot the shit some more.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We can talk about production and stuff if you want to, like, another time, because that's a whole nother can of worms, or if it's not part of this.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm down to talk about anything. I just don't know that I have too much insight on it at the moment.
That's fair.
Do you have any shows coming up? You got any big announcements to make?
I mean, sure. So I have a new song coming out this Friday on Hexagon.
So this will be out on Monday. So it
out. Just came out.
Yeah.
So go stream it now. It's called Need No Light. And it's with two guys that I've worked with before on two separate songs. Kane, he's a rapper. He did one of the first songs that blew up. He was my guy for that. And then my friend Nesso. So basically I brought us all together for this one, and turned out really well. Hexagon wanted to sign it like right away to the main label, which is very exciting. So I've a lot of tracks with Hexagon on sub labels, but this is my first one on the main label. So that's exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, stream that. AVI SIC. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks
Enjoyable. We'll definitely be doing this again.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for watching. If you're on the YouTube, like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, algorithm activating activity. Let's go, champ. We'll see you next time. Peace. Your
Like, I don't know
over
which
there.
camera.
That one's yours.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told.